Welcome to the introduction of the new glass inspection system. Today I want to show you the components of the new glass inspection system and how to bring it into the service, how to do the installation. But before I show you the components and the installation of the new glass inspection system in a practical way, let's start with some slides which shows you the principle of the glass measuring regarding glass toughening and hardening applications. So when we are talking about a glass inspection system, that means we are looking from the top at the exit of a glass furnace with the infrared camera, trying to detect the temperature of the glass sheets which are passing the area from the heating zone to the cooling zone. Regarding this small gap between the heating and the cooling process, we are looking with our infrared camera PI 640 from the top in direction on the glass sheets. And to get precise and right temperature values, we are doing a reference measuring from underneath with the CTG5 sensor. So here you can see on the top we have the PI 640 camera looking to the gap which is in between the heating process and the cooling process, and under the transportation belt of the glass sheets we have our reference sensor, the CTG5 sensor. So finally we will have a nice looking infrared image, as you can see here on the top on the right side. And with the glass inspection system we want to make it easy for you regarding doing the adjustments. So there's no need to create new measure areas and there's no need to adjust the emissivity. Everything is ready and the layouts are ready created for you. So that means you can open the layouts immediately and you can start direct with your measurement. You can see also that we have inside the image digital adjustments. So you can see here on the top the live image of the line scan, and you can see at the bottom the history of all line scans. So the operator can click on an image and can open this image and can have a look on the temperature duration on the glass sheets. On the left side at the bottom you can see the live image of the line scan process. So here you can see the scan line, and there's also no need to go into the configuration menu because you can move the scan line direct here in the image. So for the operator it's also necessary to see the temperature profiles, and therefore you can find on our image of also a profile line. And on the left side you can see the temperature durations regarding this profile line. So the operator can see if there's something strange inside the furnace, inside the oven, that one heating area is too cold or maybe too hot, and the operator can also control the furnace with this information coming from the Pix Connect software. Here you can see an application example where the glass inspection system can be used. And wherever a glass toughening, hardening furnace is in use, a line scanner might be installed, and you can replace an old classical line scanner with a new glass inspection system. We are very happy because we have here near Berlin a location. This is a company which has a glass hardening process, and you can see here the machine. You can see here behind the oven, the furnace, and the glass comes out of the furnace to the cooling area. And in between the furnace wall behind and the cooling section, we have installed our infrared camera to check the temperature of the glass surfaces. So we can measure on standard glass and we can also measure on low emissivity glass. And fortunately, this company allows us to do measuring tests with standard glass and also with low emissivity glass, and we started there 2 years ago, so we have some experience now with the glass inspection system at this location also. Here you can see the installation of our camera on the right side of the image. You can see on the top the PI camera together with the shutter, and you can see here the small gap. We are looking into this gap on the glass sheets which are coming out of the oven, which is on the right side, and you can see the cooling section on the left side. Here in the middle of the screen you can see also the oven on the left side, and you can see that the oven door opens and that the glass sheets pass the small gap, and our camera is checking the temperature in a line scan, and the glass sheets will pass to the cooling zone. At this time, our software Pix Connect is scanning line by line the glass sheets, and you can see as a result that the software shows the glass sheets immediately as line scan. So all we need from the oven door is a signal, a trigger signal, to start and stop the line scan in the Pix Connect software. Now let's have a look how we can put the glass inspection system into the service. So you will get one complete system, and this system is plug and play ready. And yeah, this is how it arrives at the customer site. And now we have a look step by step how we do the setup of the glass inspection system. So the system is ready to use, and all we need for the measurement is pre-installed. Yeah, you have the camera and the reference sensor, and this is pre-connect to our communication center. And you have a bundles of cables here, you can see. You have the cable for the CTG5 sensor, for our reference sensor. You have the shutter cable for the first shutter. This is for the reference sensor. You have the second shutter cable for the PI camera. And you have the process interface cable. And last but not least, you have the USB cable, which is connected between the camera and the control unit. So you can see all components, the PI camera and the CTG5 sensor, are covered and saved by a shutter system. And this is very important because sometimes you have dust in the air. And so if you do not have any scan process at this time, you can save the lenses from dust and dirt. If you have the line scan, the shutter will immediately open, and yeah, our system is doing the line scan, and after the glasses passes the gap and the line scan is ready, the shutter will close again. So, and now the whole system is saved from dust and dirt. Yeah, we have three components with the glass inspection system, and you can see we have here first the PI camera. This is the PI camera 640, which is connected direct to our control center. You have the reference sensor, the CTG5 sensor, which is also connected direct to our control center. And yeah, all is mounted on a shipping frame, you can see here. And this is very important regarding the shipment, because during the shipment, the components should be saved, installed on this frame. And if the shipment arrived at your location, you can unmount the camera and the CTG5 sensor, and you can install the components to the right locations. Yeah, also what you get with the delivery is a certificate of calibration for the CTG5 sensor, and for sure you will also get the Pix Connect software, which is for free for you. Yeah, now let's have a look to the content of our glass inspection system box. Let's have a look inside. Yeah, what you can see here, we have two levels. We have the top level, and we have also a bottom level with components. And let's start with the top level. What you see here is first the USB server, which has direct a connection to the PI camera. So this is the USB port for the PI camera. And the second port of the USB server we are using for the reference sensor for the CTG5 sensor, which is direct connected to the USB server. So this is the power supply for the reference sensor, and this can be also used to see in the Compact Connect software the temperature time diagram of the reference sensor of the CTG5 sensor. Yeah, here we have the Ethernet connection. So this is a direct connection to the PC, because we have here a point-to-point connection. And yeah, that's all regarding the USB server. On this side, you can see a connector block, and this is very important regarding the trigger signal which is coming from the oven, because if the oven door opens, the trigger signal must come into this connector block, and this will be forwarded to our process interface to start the line scan. So, and here we are using the port number 4 to trigger our line scan function in the Pix Connect software. Yeah, let's have a look to the second level, to the bottom level. And here you can see the electronic boxes of our components. First, we have the electronic box of the CTG5 sensor. Then we have the first shutter box for the PI camera. we have the second shutter box for the reference sensor, and we have the industrial process interface, which forwards the signal direct to our Pix Connect software. Yeah, that's all, and everything is ready installed and connected, and it's ready to go. Let's have a look to the external trigger signal which comes from the furnace. If the furnace opens, the furnace has to send a trigger signal. And yeah, I mentioned you already inside the control box we have a connector block. And here the pin number 4 is very important, because with the pin number 4 we import the analog input signal which is coming from the oven door. And so with this port, we forward the information of the trigger signal to our industrial process interface. And here we are using the input channel in 1 to import the trigger signal. Yeah, so you can use, of course you have to use the trigger signal coming from the oven, but parallel you can also use our remote control, which is delivered with a glass inspection system and which I'll show you in a few minutes. So these are the components, and yeah, all you have to do is to install the components on the right locations. So you have to install the PI camera on the top and the reference sensor, the CTG5 sensor beneath. And yeah, you have the connection to the glass inspection system, to the control unit, and all you have to do, you have to connect the Ethernet connection to your PC, and you have to connect the power supply. Yeah, and that's it. This is the complete system, how you have to install it. And I told you regarding the trigger signal, you can also use parallel the remote control, which is delivered with the glass inspection system. And yeah, here you have two buttons. You have the yellow button, which starts the line scan procedure. So this button opens the shutter, and the button sends also the signal to the industrial process interface to start the line scan. And you have also a low emissivity button, and this I will explain you in a few minutes here. And this remote control you can also install parallel to your trigger signal which comes from the furnace. Yeah, let's have a look to the system overview. You can see on one side we have the PC, and the PC has an Ethernet connection to our glass inspection system. So you can have a length up to 100 meters with an Ethernet cable. And here we have a connection to the USB server. And from the USB server you have first a connection to the PI camera and also to our shutter system. And the second USB port belongs to the reference sensor, to the CTG5 sensor. Yeah, on the other side you have a power supply to our first shutter box, to the second shutter box, and also to the industrial process interface, and for sure also to our CTG5 electronic box. Yeah, here you can see the internal wiring of the system. So on the one side we have the remote control with our two buttons. The yellow button is to start the line scan, and the second button is to switch between the standard glass mode and the low emissivity glass mode. And here you can see we have one connection which goes to the first shutter, and also the second connection goes to the second shutter to open the shutter. And at the same time, if the signal comes from the remote control to open the shutter, our shutter box forward the signal to the process interface, and the process interface forwards the signal to the Pix Connect software, which starts immediately the line scan procedure. On the other side, we have also the CTG5 sensor, and here you can see we are using the temperature output channel, and we are forwarding the current signal direct to our process interface to do the reference temperature calculation between the CTG5 sensor and the PI camera. So this is the complete wiring system between the components and the remote control. Yeah, all you have to do, I mentioned to you, is to connect the glass inspection system to your PC via the Ethernet cable. And yeah, all what you have to do is to set up the Ethernet connection at your PC. So therefore you have to set the IP address on your PC. So you have to set a static IP address on your PC. And after this, you can start the vUtility software and the USB redirector software to set the IP address for the USB server. And yeah, how this works, we did also another YouTube video where you can see how to install the USB server. Now let's have a look how our glass inspection system works together with the Pix Connect software. And therefore I switch now to the Pix Connect software. And yeah, what you see now is a live image of the PI camera. And yeah, I mentioned before that this is a ready-to-go system. So we have already layouts for you, which you can open immediately with the software Pix Connect to start the line scan immediately. And all you have to do for this, you have to go to the menu Tools, Layout, and you have to go to the pull-down menu. And here you can see two ready layouts for you. This is first the top-down glass inspection system demo layout and the top-down glass inspection system layout. Yeah, what is the difference between these two layouts? So the demo mode we have to use if you are in the office or if you visit your customer to demonstrate the glass inspection system at the customer's location. And yeah, maybe you do not have immediately the glass system where you can show the system, but you have in the office only a cup of coffee or your hand. And so you can show with the demo system a temperature range which has a temperature range of -20 to 100 degrees C. So with the standard top-down glass inspection system layout, you will have for sure the right glass temperatures which are in the temperature range from 150 to 900 degrees C. So for now we use the top-down glass inspection system demo, and I choose this and I go to the menu Load Layout. And now you can see immediately that our glass inspection system load for you the right layout in the Pix Connect software. On the main screen you will have the result image of the line scan, and on the left side you will have the temperature profile. At the bottom you will have the snapshot history, and here on the left side at the bottom you can see the live image of the Pix Connect software and of the PI camera, and here you have the possibility by grabbing the scan line to move the scan line in the right position for the line scan. So there's no need that you go into the configuration menu and to define the scan line. You can do this immediately here on the main screen. Yeah, let's start with our line scan. And I told you before, you can push the yellow button on the remote control to start the line scan. And yeah, we do this now immediately, and you see the shutter opens. And now I'm using my hand in front of the camera to do the line scan. And yeah, what you see is here the line scan. And after the line scan, the shutter will close immediately. And yeah, the line scan is done right now. Now you can see here the result image at the software Pix Connect. And yeah, you can also see the temperature profile on the left side. And you can also see the snapshot history is now stored here to the history line. Yeah, and on the left side, you can see again the live image of the PI camera. So this is very easy, and you see you can do the line scan immediately. We have also the possibility to do a line scan not to measure on standard glass, but you have sometimes also low emissivity glass available. So that means we have a special coating on the glass which has a strong reflection and a low emissivity, and we are talking here about an emissivity below 0.1. And regarding this special type of glass, you have to change the emissivity mode by using the glass inspection system. And this you can do also with a remote control. You see we have here a second button. This is a green one. And with the green one button, you can change the emissivity mode. And you can see here in the Pix Connect software, with the standard mode, we have a temperature range of -20 to 100 degrees C. And if I switch now to the low emissivity mode by clicking on the button, you can see that the temperature range changes immediately from 0 to 250 degrees C. So this is because we have now a low radiation from our glass is coming to the PI camera, and yeah, we have to use here another temperature range and another calculation to get the right temperature value for our glass measurement. If you click again on the green button, you will see at the software Pix Connect at the bottom task line that the temperature range changes immediately back to -20 to 100. Or if you are using the standard glass inspection demo layout, you have the temperature range 150 to 900 degrees Celsius again. Yeah, that's the way how to use our new glass inspection system. And you see it's very easy. It's a plug-and-play system. Everything is connected. And you can see you have the ready layouts inside the Pix Connect software. So you can start immediately for a demonstration in your office, at your customer visit, and also at the process to scan on the glass sheets at the customer process.